So what are the things that users can expect very shortly, already existing? So one, of course, is our recent launch of version 1 platform, which is a complete rebuild of technology stack in the backend, as well as the front end when it comes to UI and UX. And we have also launched our own Android mobile application, which is then live on Google Play Store. iOS is to follow.
What is going on, Ada Nation? Welcome to Dapp Central. My name is Fareed, and as a part of today's video, we're going to be doing an interview and a deep dive into a platform aiming to connect the entire Cardano community while also raising awareness surrounding the top builders in the ecosystem. So without any further ado, let's bring on today's guest. That's going to be Sebastian Ziliakis, the Managing Director of Emergo Media. Sebastian, welcome aboard. How are you doing?
Thank you so much, Farid, and really appreciate you having me here.
I am more than happy to. I've been diving into the Cardano Spot, and it's been a platform that's been on my radar for quite a bit of time now. There's so much going on. I figured it'd be best to hear it directly from somebody working on the platform, which is you. So I want to thank you as well for the time that you're taking out of your busy schedule to talk to us about the Cardano Spot. Now, before we jump into today's agenda, I just want to give the viewers a brief review of what we're going to be chatting about. First things first, we're going to just get an introduction as to yourself, as well as what the Cardano Spot is doing. And then we're going to jump into the platform features, as well as what you guys are doing to make sure that the platform is engaging for content creators and content consumers. After that, we'll jump into some opportunities for content creators, as well as some partnerships and collaborations that may be coming down soon. And then last but not least, we'll jump into future developments, and then we're going to get your closing thoughts here, Sebastian. So that said, let's go ahead and jump right on in. Do you mind maybe kicking us off with an introduction about yourself, as well as what the Cardano Spot is?
Okay, thank you so much, and absolutely my pleasure. My title is really, as you mentioned, Managing Director at Emergo Media, and Emergo is the official commercial arm of Cardano. My background, or I'm born in Sweden. I have made Singapore my home for the past 16 years. I've been in many different kind of industries throughout my career, whether that is social networking, fintech, video distribution, mobile games, and so forth. But really started to tap into Web3 maybe about 5 years ago. And that allowed me to eventually have a discussion with Ken Kodama, who is co-founder of Cardano, as well as the group CEO of Emergo, and have the possibility to join Emergo's team roughly about 1.5 years ago. So, and really loving it so far in the Cardano community.
Thank you for the brief introduction there, Sebastian. What I find really interesting is how dispersed the Cardano community is, and obviously the Emergo community as well, right? So to hear that you're in Singapore is interesting for me. And I haven't made it over there, but I would love to. I know you guys just had the Token 2049 event, which was a massive success taking place over there. But now that we know a little bit more about you, let's maybe just jump into the meat of today's content, which is going to be the Cardano Spot. So that said, do you mind touching on what the Cardano Spot is and what it's going to be offering for the Cardano community?
Absolutely. For me, it's very important to know what is sort of the North Star of the team and what we are trying to achieve. So why we are really here and why Cardano Spot exists is really to empower and connect Cardano enthusiasts. So that is our vision, and how we do that is by building up the social network, which is called Cardano Spot, for the Cardano enthusiast, which provides generally a 360 view of what is happening in the Cardano ecosystem. There are a couple of challenges and problems, how you look at it, that we really wanted to solve in the beginning, which the first one was fragmentation of information about Cardano, both internally as well as external media, and provide reliable and transparent information to the public. Cardano Spot also collaborates with multitude of Cardano projects to really help them get more exposure and be out there. we also provide a space where people can talk about, learn about, and become involved into the Cardano ecosystem. So pretty much bringing Cardano community to newbies, people that might not be aware of Cardano, people that might not be aware of Web3 itself. So really by joining Cardano Spot, you will have the opportunity to connect with fellow Cardano enthusiasts and engage with projects in lively discussions about the latest trend and developments.
Yeah, the way that I personally like to look at it is the Cardano Spot is almost like X or Twitter just for the
Mm.
Cardano community, right? So for anybody who's joining the ecosystem, wanting to get information and hearing it directly from the actual projects themselves, because I believe there is a project specific section, right? They're
Yeah.
able to join the Cardano Spot in order to go ahead and actually get more information. Another really cool thing that I like that you guys have been doing lately has actually been live streams as well as interviews of the actual projects themselves. I recall, I believe it was the Paribus team and a few other teams that actually did live streams with the Cardano Spot, where the community was also able to even provide feedback and ask questions throughout the live stream. So really doing your best to connect projects to the community while also educating and creating a community space where anybody can interact with other Cardano community members. So here we're looking at 3 easy steps to get connected. Number 1 is to just register. The official website is available at cardanospot.io. Step number 2, you can sign into your account. And then step number 3, you can actually go ahead and set up your profile with things such as your hobbies, your interests, and then I believe you can also select your avatar and things of that nature. So again, pretty cool features and pretty cool platform to go ahead and just get tuned into what the Cardano community has to offer. Now, let's move into the next piece here. Let's talk a little bit about user engagement and what the Cardano Spot is doing to make sure that people are actually utilizing the platform, but also staying engaged while doing so. So I know that there was a pretty cool event. Now, this was around the March or April timeline, I believe, where the Cardano Spot actually had a content creation challenge, which rewarded the community with, I think it was $1,000 with some additional prizes in between. Do you mind touching on, some of those initiatives, and then what else is maybe ongoing when it comes to making sure that this platform is engaging for the content consumers?
Absolutely, and I think I couldn't have explained it better myself. How you explained Cardano Spot just now. But generally, so when it comes to engagement, and there are many different factors. Going back to what we really want to do, we anchor those thoughts, whether it be features, functionalities, or initiatives, with empowerment and connecting Cardano enthusiasts. So that is really how we sort of drive this forward. And with that, it's of course always important to listen to the feedback from the community on how we can improve the platform to be better. And this is something we do on a regular basis. And we make prioritization based on those feedback on a quarterly basis, which you have also seen with the new updated UI and UX of the platform. So if we dig deeper into the functionalities or features of the platform, one of the main features is our community hub. And there you can have specific topic-related discussions, or what we currently call them communities. And this really allows for meaningful discussions based on your interest. Having a Cardano-focused community also gives creators the liberty to talk and create about all things Cardano without any filters. So this allows for a very niche engagement, while at the same time keep themselves informed around the overall Web3 space itself. So some of the things when it comes to engagement that we really focus on, one is quality of content. So we constantly strive to be better at it, but really focusing on better content curation and briefing contributors with updated guidelines. We have, as you mentioned, educational content, really offering user guides and all you need to know kind of format of content for specifically newbies. And this really capture latest trends and development to initiate meaningful conversations and interactions with the community. Additionally, what we have is community events and competitions. And we are hosting regular challenges and events that helps Cardano Spot maintain a healthy engagement. And this is something that we will continue with. So stay tuned for more challenges around content creation in the future. Also related to feedback, so we continue to seek users' feedback to really optimize the platform and provide what we want to have a hassle-free user experience. So as an example, in the previous quarter, we identified that our community hub was loading quite slowly. This is something that we have spent a significant time to fix it. So if you go to Cardano Spot now, you should have a sleek user experience and with a much faster speed. Also, Web3 media, or rather say, one of the things that we really want to do, and that is to support Cardano projects, of course, and Cardano as a community. And I think we all know that Web3 media and traditional media hasn't really been reporting accurate information or even no information about Cardano. And this is what we want to tackle with Cardano Spot. So really disseminate the right information for the ecosystem, but also for newcomers by educating them and then eliminating barriers to entering the Cardano ecosystem itself. Additionally, things that we have built up to improve collaboration connection is to have features such as notification, which then allows users to actively engage if people follow you, if people upvote your post, people comment on your post. So traditional functionalities and features which you can find in Web2 social networking itself. We also have, or rather say, while we have lively discussions about particular topics in the community hub, we do have guidelines for users, which we want to have them follow so that there wouldn't be any degrading or insult or infringement on members' persona. And that is also something that is really important to us. So to support these guidelines, every user can also report a post or report the user. So it's moderated in that way. To me personally, Web3 social networking, in contrast to Web2, is a community moderation instead of a central entity. So we do appreciate users moderating this platform together. One thing that I do have to say, and that goes back to, while moderation is there from the community, we don't do any censorship. So it's community-based moderation targeting potential degrading, insult, and infringement, but no censorship itself. Other things that we do for engagement, which is a topic you brought up, is organizing live stream and X spaces. So that is really something we continue with to really foster connections, both with entrepreneurs, where community members can ask questions directly, meanwhile, the project library, what we call it, brings vetted early stage and established project for our users to connect with, which our hope is to provide trust and transparency in the Cardano ecosystem.
Wonderful breakdown there to my questions surrounding user engagement and just how people can jump into the Cardano Spot community. Another way that I really like to think about this, as I see it play out, is it's almost kind of like a Discord server, right? Where at any time of the day, you can jump in there, you can talk to people. And within Discord, you've kind of got like the different servers or the different chat rooms where they're kind of each focusing on specific things. But the way that I like to look at it is almost kind of like a huge Discord server, not just for one project, but for every project within the Cardano ecosystem. So to that end, you just mentioned the revamped website. I personally think it looks amazing. I think you guys have done an amazing job. I've even just jumped into the actual platform myself. So let me just quickly pull that up and share that with the viewers here who've never taken a spin on the platform. But here we have the actual platform, again, available at cardanospot.io. At the very top, we've got the Explore tab. To the right of that, we've got the community tab. We've then got the news section. One section that I really like too that I didn't see before is going to be the market status. So I believe this breaks down some of the price information and highlights the top gainers within the Cardano community, which is really awesome to see all of that here all in one place. To the right of that, we've got the project library, like you mentioned, which breaks down all the different projects and what they're offering. And then we've also got the events here, which is a pretty cool calendar, right? Showing us anything that might be going on within the Cardano community or just the blockchain community. So interestingly, there we just saw a promo there for Token 2049, which just took place in Singapore. And then here we've got NFTLV that just occurred in Vegas as well. So again, for anybody who hasn't checked this out, I recommend you guys definitely do so. It's definitely like a one-stop shop when it comes to getting everything in Cardano. All right, so let's move along then into the next portion for today's video. I want to maybe now chat about the content creators. So we've touched on user engagement for people who are coming on to consume content, but what opportunities and what are you guys doing to make sure that content creators actually want to jump on to the platform, and then number two, that they're rewarded for their hard work as content creators?
Yeah. Thank you very much. And it's a good question. And one of the things you touch upon is really content monetization. So we are working closely with multiple different content contributors today. And they can today directly monetize their work without relying on intermediaries through our existing rewards system. We also work with content creators, content contributors through in-platform collaborations. So that means that Cardano Spot facilitates collaboration between the creators, enabling them to work together on projects and get rewarded. And this is something that we believe would be really beneficial to projects themselves, but also the creators. So it's various different kind of focuses, whether that would be information about the platform, certain things that we write about when it comes to projects, but also the fact that creators and projects can connect on that platform allows for a multitude of opportunities for the creators. We also have a global reach for content creators. So while Cardano Spot has a diverse community of creators and Cardano enthusiasts that gets global traction to in-platform content. Recently, through our V1 launch, we now have 8 languages apart from English, which also then allows native contributors to be able to support in their own local languages. And through there, we do also partnerships with both Web3 news portal as well as with traditional media in the future, which also then allows the content creators and contributors to get the kind of awareness and broader push throughout the world. We also have initiatives that we call Participate to Earn. So users and content creators can get incentivized to contribute to the platform through that mean. With the collaboration that we have with different Web3 news portals, we really aim to partner with as many as we can, of course, globally, which then allows for broader distribution for them. But also not only broader distribution, but this goes back into what I shared before around disseminating accurate reporting around Cardano ecosystem. This is something that further allows for that possibility.
Yeah, I would really love to see a point in time where we can have one specific news source. Obviously, I think the more the better, but one specific news source that we know is trusted and accurate when it comes to disseminating Cardano specific information, especially in Web3 right now. As it sits, there's so much misinformation. Even just earlier today, I'm not sure if you're following some of the news, but there was a rumor about a spot Bitcoin ETF being approved,
Yeah.
which was, quickly retracted as that wasn't confirmed. So I think it really just goes to show how much misinformation, whether it's intentional or not, does appear to be in the space. And then specifically with Cardano, there seems to be a lot of FUD from people that are outside that just don't spend the amount of time that they need to understand what's actually going on inside. So to have a source from the inside to be able to disseminate that information outwards, I think would be a huge benefit and contribution to the ecosystem as a whole. Now, one thing that you mentioned there was going to be support for multiple languages. And so this is actually something that just jumped out at me here as I was looking through some of these articles, where I'm not going to take a shot at what language this is, but it's definitely not English, right? So to see that there is support and that there is inclusion here, I think only makes this that much more accessible for anybody who wants to jump in and doesn't have to be blocked or doesn't have to face the language barrier, which I think is very common, right, for different communities, etc. So I'm really liking the fact that you guys are going to be language agnostic. And then last but not least, I think this is going to be a really huge opportunity for writers and video content creators like myself to contribute, right? So for example, myself, I'm
Absolutely.
able to post content on Twitter or X, as well as on YouTube. But this is now going to offer another new platform where I can also begin to share my content there, hopefully build a following and also a community directly on the Cardano Spot. So again, really happy to hear about what is going to be coming down and what has already been given out to the Cardano community from the Cardano Spot. Let's move along, Sebastian, into the next topic, which is going to be partnerships and
Mhm.
collaborations. Do you mind elaborating on what existing partnerships have already been made with the Cardano Spot, as well as which ones you guys are potentially working on to bring a broader reach as to what you guys are doing?
Sure, absolutely. And I think going back that specifically for dissemination and growing sort of the awareness, we are collaborating and we are discussing with many Web3 news portals. And some that we can mention, of course, is being Crypto, India Today, Coin Edition. So different kind of variant format of news portals. So that could be text-based or it could be video-based. So we collaborate with many of them and going to grow that number significantly in the next quarter as well as next year. We are also working very closely with and actively in discussion for collaboration with projects within the Cardano ecosystem like Gimbal Labs, Mesh, and Damio. And that is also to build a further developer community base, but also to grow the education for existing developers. We have also done collaborations with MintSwap and TangleSwap. So we are working with various different projects within the Cardano ecosystem. And we will continue to do that. And if there is any project that see that, okay, this might be a fit between us, we are more than happy to have a discussion. Outside of the Cardano ecosystem, we're also trying to work with potential partners to really grow the empowerment for Cardano projects. So some of the active discussions we have is with, for example, AWS and Google in order to support the project Cardano, as well as executed some partnerships and working on some further partnership with exchanges. And we have started in Southeast Asia because we have our HQ here in Singapore. So we have already done partnerships and executed those partnerships with Toko Crypto, Reco, Pinto, BitCab, so Indonesia, Thailand. And that is also to grow awareness, to grow the community in those locations, as well as the volume of ADA being traded globally. So there's quite a lot of initiatives and partnerships and collaborations going on globally.
Yeah, and it sounds like it's not just inside the ecosystem, but also branching outwards, which, as I mentioned before, I think is really awesome to hear. Now, I do want to ask about an upcoming event and what your guys' role with that event might be. So we've got the Desert Experience, which is going to be the Cardano Summit 2023 taking place in Dubai. I heard that the Cardano Spot is going to be contributing. Do you mind maybe letting the viewers know how and what exactly we can expect in terms of content from the Cardano Spot at this event?
Okay. We are working really closely with Cardano Foundation to make sure that we cover all different areas, different kind of formats, different kind of content, different kind of reach globally. So we will be a on-the-scene reporting partner. So what that means is that we will actually go around Cardano Summit itself to report through a live stream, interviewing people that are there. At the same time, we will be interviewing individuals at the summit, and that could range from people that are speakers, but also non-speakers, to really provide a full view for Cardano enthusiasts. But also what we want to do is to grow the Cardano ecosystem itself. So we have partners in a way to be able to broadcast this on the scene reporting to a hopefully new or addition to the Cardano community itself. So we definitely advise you to tune into Cardano Spot during Cardano Summit to get more information on upcoming trends, but also to be able to hear from directly the audience on at the venue.
So if I'm not mistaken, it's not necessarily you guys providing just the coverage of the main speakers, but actually incorporating the attendees' perspectives as well at the actual Cardano Summit.
Yeah, to clarify that, we are focusing on the attendees and individuals that we are interviewing at Cardano Summit. We are not reporting from the main stage and the presenters. That is something that Cardano Foundation itself will do through their live stream.
Perfect. I appreciate the clarification. And I think that makes sense. You know, if somebody's already covered the main speakers, it makes sense to maybe loop in some of the other people that don't necessarily have as big of a voice, but are still representative of the Cardano community. So I'm excited for that. I would say that I'd be tuning in, but I'm hoping to actually be there in person to where I can catch this live. So hopefully I can see you there, Sebastian, shake your hand and talk with the other
Absolutely.
representatives from Emerg over there. All right, let's move over into the second to last topic for today's interview. Again, thank you so much for your time with respect to this and just bringing all this information about the Cardano Spot. The next thing I want to jump into is going to be about the future developments. So what are some exciting future developments or enhancements that the users in the community can look forward to, or that you guys are maybe working on in the background right now?
Yeah. Okay. So I think there are many exciting things coming since pretty much we just got started. So what are the things that users can expect very shortly, already existing? So one, of course, is our recent launch of version 1 platform, which is a complete rebuild of technology stack in the backend, as well as the front end when it comes to UI and UX. And we have also launched our own Android mobile application, which is then live on Google Play Store. iOS is to follow. We hope that will happen before the summit, of course. Additionally, we have then 8 languages beside English launched. So that includes Thai, Japanese, Spanish, simplified Chinese, traditional Chinese, Indonesian Bahasa, Vietnamese, and Portuguese. And within Q4 roadmap, not exclusively, but there are a couple of main points that we want to do. One, of course, is to launch our Wallet Connect. So we'll be able to register and sign up with any kind of Cardano wallet. So that's a big thing, and we are definitely looking forward to that. We're going to have an open access to the different pages. So currently you can see project library, you can see the news section. Later on, we will open up the other sections completely. We will also have a Cardano Wiki section, which is more towards really basic education around Cardano, simplified information, as well as a dictionary of Cardano-based terminology. And we will also work very heavily on content discoverability in the platform to help both users, of course, for their self-learning, as well as the content contributor possibility to amplify the discovery of their content. Now, as we move forward, the platform really aimed to get mainstream user onboarding along with Cardano enthusiasts. So the ultimate goal is to really have a community-driven Web3 social media platform. And we have some initiatives internally. Well, I can't share too much about it, but we have some initiatives which is around content ownership as well as content monetization that I'm really looking forward to provide to the community.
Yeah, my ears just perked up as you've mentioned content monetization. I think that is a huge incentive. And we've even seen platforms like X, right, now
Mm.
really beginning to focus on that because they understand the power that monetizing and owning one's work has, especially in a digital age right now, where everybody's looking to bolster their internet footprint in their presence online, right? I think more and more people are realizing, including myself, that you can run a single person or a lightweight business using the internet. And so I think monetization opens up the opportunity for people to go full time in the things that they love to already do, which hopefully would be to create content about Cardano, etc. Now, you mentioned the wiki, which I think is really awesome to hear. There's actually been other projects that have put out their own wikis per se. For example, the Cornucopias game has what they call the Copy Wiki, which is kind of like an FAQ, right? With all of the information that you ever need to know about the game in the metaverse. And we've also seen other platforms like NMaker, et cetera, come out with
Mm.
their own documentations and quote unquote wikis as well. So to hear that the Cardano Spot's going to have a very similar feature, I think really shows the um, attitude that you guys have to educating and making sure that people have all the resources that they need to be capable to contribute in the Cardano ecosystem. Now, there's one thing that I do want to ask about that maybe you guys are thinking about, but that I didn't necessarily hear you mention, and that's going to be surrounding educational courses. So I think there's a couple of ways that courses can be done. Have you guys maybe thought about implementing courses into the Cardano Spot as well?
Yeah, I think it's a really good question. And when it comes to educational courses, I think there are a multitude of projects within the Cardano community that is doing this really well. We would love to partner up with them. So we see ourselves as a gateway into the Cardano ecosystem. And we might not necessarily build everything ourselves. I don't think that is the purpose, and I don't think it's the good use of Cardano community sort of project and resources. But we are very happy to partner with companies within the Cardano ecosystem in order to offer these courses in one way or another.
I'm not sure if you're familiar with the Working Dead NFT project, but they've just built out their own learn to earn platform. And so I would be more than happy to connect you with Sean, who's going to be their lead developer. They just launched on the mainnet, but they support the Cardano ecosystem as well as the EVM or the Ethereum community. And so the point of their platform is to allow for content creators like myself to join as instructors. And there's also a position for anybody who's not an instructor or who's just a consumer to also join the platform and therefore begin to consume content or unlock courses that the creators create. Now that is done from um, an outsider's perspective in a sense where I'm not a part of a project, but I can join as an instructor.
Mm.
But it'd be really cool to get courses or course content directly from projects themselves that they would also like to put out. So again, I'm really happy to hear that you guys aren't trying to rebuild the wheel. I think that, if somebody's done something that you can leverage, it makes sense to go ahead and do that. But again, I wanted to just kind of throw that question out there. So I do appreciate you answering and giving us a little bit of insight surrounding that.
Yeah, thank you very much for the question. Maybe I can add something to it as well. And uh, to us, it's really important to be able to empower and support projects in different kind of stages, and that's why there could be educational courses which are related to technical, but also equally important, specifically when it comes to adoption uh, of the different products that the Cardano ecosystem provide. And that is to also look at legal marketing, business development, sales, and so forth and so on, strategy. So to me, it's very important that we also encompass the other aspects of education in order to really help the projects in the Cardano ecosystem.
Yeah, wonderfully said. And I'd love to maybe have you on to chat about additional courses that Emergo and some of these other platforms also have. I think that could be another call on its own. Now,
Yeah.
as we get ready to wrap this up here, Sebastian, again, I want to thank you. The last thing I want to ask you is just what are your closing thoughts? Is there anything else that you would like for the viewers here today to know about the Cardano Spot? And, what are some parting words?
Well, uh, I think generally I'm very bullish on Cardano next year, as well as Cardano Spot. So I do think 2024 will be a really, really exciting and interesting year. Secondly, while we have already started collaboration with certain projects within the Cardano ecosystem, we would love to work even closer and with more projects in the Cardano ecosystem. The same way as you just mentioned, to not reinvent the wheel, but also to collaboratively work on growing the Cardano ecosystem itself.
Thank you so much again. We've got Sebastian Ziliakis, Managing Director of Emergo Media here, breaking down everything going on with the Cardano Spot. As a part of today, not only did we get an intro, we also got a quick look at some potential features, not only for content consumers, but for content creators, as well as partnerships and collaborations coming down the pipes here with people inside of Cardano as well as outside. For you, the viewer watching at home, if you guys enjoyed today's video, as always, I would appreciate you if you could tap that like button if it's your first time stopping by the channel and you want more content like this surrounding the top builders in the Cardano ecosystem, consider subscribing. And if you have any questions or maybe you just want to shout out some different projects here down in the comment section below, then please go ahead and do that here. And Sebastian and myself will be reviewing those comments as they do come in. That said, ladies and gentlemen, we'll catch you guys all in the next video. Take care.